Hey y'all, you wanted an art tour? I'm giving you an art tour. Come on in. It's only right that I start in the entryway. One, because one of my newest acquisitions is in here, but this is the area I kind of get the most questions about. So first of all, I'm gonna start with the walls. The walls are actually hand muraled by yours truly. So it gives a really unique background to the really cool artwork that I've brought in here. This particular piece, I wish I knew the artist. Y'all, this is the last piece I bought from a retailer, and I only bought this piece from a retailer because I worked for that retailer. And it was like my going away gift to myself, and I cannot remember the name of the artist. If you know who you are, if you follow me, please raise your hand. The walls were inspired by Kelly Wearstler Graffito print, which is my absolute all-time favorite print in the world. But it now is the backdrop to this rose, this gilded rose. This rose is by a Memphis artist. His name is Joel Parsons. This piece was shown in the NKBA. It's a subsidiary of Art Basel in Miami. But I saw it on Instagram and I reached out to the gallerist and was like, I wish I could have seen it. And she's like, you're in luck. We're bringing it back to Memphis. You can see it in person. I saw it and knew that I had to have it. So this piece is just, you know, when I think about art, you have to think in 3D terms. It's not always just a piece of framed. Literally anything can be art. And when I saw this, I had no idea why I was drawn to it, but I am. It is a gilded rose with a plaster on the petals, and this chain are literally glass tears. Very unique piece, and in love with Joel and his entire practice with glass and roses and all the things. One of my favorite dumpster dives from one of my favorite artists, another Memphis artist. Her name is Frances Berry Moreno. I did a studio visit with her several years ago, and this was in her trash. She was getting ready to throw it away. And I was like, no ma'am, I can use that. And it's been a prominent piece of the living room or the entryway for the almost 10 years I've had it. And I get the most people asking about it. I love hearing people's interpretations of it. Some people see dancing, other people see animals. You never know, but that's what artwork does. Okay, let's head down the hallway. This wallpaper is from Huga and West. This is a home of Black people. And when I saw this print, I'm like, take me to the motherland. It's black and gray and has these gold leopards. I think these are leopards, they may be cheetahs. Child, don't make me laugh. The touches of gold really just woke up this, what could be a really simple print. This wallpaper ended up being a gorgeous backdrop for some of my favorite pieces from Black artists. These two pieces are from G. Horton. He actually gifted these pieces to me several years ago, and they get so much attention in every video that I post when people come over, and they just personify my relationship with my son and my husband. I used to do their hair. The art form of family and love that these pieces encapsulates, along with the really graphic face painting. They feel like Detroit, they feel like Memphis, they also feel like Senegal or Ghana. So yes, big love to G for gifting these to me. Alongside my G. Horton pieces, this particular piece is from Cornell Watkins, based in Durham, North Carolina. I saw this print. I don't remember who shared it, but I discovered Cornell on Instagram. But I mean, what other better reason than right now? I've had this piece for a couple years, but we are literally in a nonstop revolution. We've been in a revolution for the last 400 years. And I mean, not only are they holding up the American flag, this woman is holding up a bottle of Uncle Nearest. And I mean, you can't get any blacker than that. So, power to the people. Also, you can't tell how old this picture is. This picture could be from 2025. It could be from 1965. I mean, with the exception of Uncle Nearest. So, yes, Cornell, thank you. That was a purchase. And rounding out this wall is another print from another favorite artist based here in Memphis. She's actually behind the camera right now. This is a piece from Chastity Jade. Edit Bay is the name of this piece. She is a film editor, content, just digital editor, but this is her work, her photography. And I mean, it's just black. This film rolled into what looks like rollers, but with her being an editor, cutting, like, it was just dope. And went to one of her shows, and that was the one piece I walked away with. So just dope, dope, dope. Then on this side, so this particular piece is a piece by Kaylin Elise, a young artist, also based in Memphis. And I went to an art show in Whitehaven. You guys should go visit Jamon Bullock's art gallery. He features prominent and also upcoming artists based in Memphis and the surrounding areas. And this is where I discovered Kaylin. This piece was one of the star pieces of the show. And when I saw it, I immediately thought of my husband, who I've lost. And my husband was an avid Jordan wearer. He has an avid Jordan collection. He always wore a hat, and his hair was locked. Also, the cardinal is a symbol of loved ones returning to you. All of this just told the story of my husband and who he was. There were so many things about it, from the weeds / botanicals growing through the concrete, this overgrown tree growing over the fence, but you can see barbed wire and the cell tower in the background. So there's so many details, but I just really loved how Kaylin, just her nuance and portraiture. I could tell that this young lady studies artwork. The composition was just incredible. Not to mention, there's a little T tag hanging from the artwork, and it says, "How strange that nature does not knock and yet does not intrude." It's from Emily Dickinson. And I have a love of nature, you know. You guys hear me talk about trees, all kinds of things. So yeah, this particular piece is dedicated to my husband, Marcus. Okay, let's move into the living room and office. So this is my working wall. I move things around over here while I'm working on projects, but it also features a couple things. A framed cover of me when I was on the cover of Memphis Magazine. Some of this, they're just framed wallpaper samples, things that I have picked up around, or the last couple years, mailers that I thought were pretty, just whatever I draw inspiration from. Tucked back here in the corner is a fairly new to me piece. It's an abstract painted by a friend of mine who is a vintage dealer here in the city, Anthony Shaw. He did a vignette in our super large fundraiser that we do here in Memphis called Art by Design, and this piece was hanging up in his vignette. The juxtaposition of the modern imagery with the classic frame is what drew me to it, and I knew putting it in my office would give this tension that this entire wall kind of needed. All of this is just stuff, but then you go, bam, classic piece of art. And then everybody asks about the broken guitar. I had the honor of being featured as the person that smashes the guitar at the opening of the 901 FC games. This is back when we had a pro soccer team here. I don't know how many people actually asked to keep the guitar. I was one. Over here, things get a little prettier. Let's start with this Cameroonian headdress. I purchased this about a year ago at Africa in April. It is beaded with thousands and thousands of beads, these birds and their masks all the way around it. It's very delicate, and I just am a fan of cultural stories and anything that's tangible that helps tell those stories. I love bringing them into my home. This big piece of art is a photo of me that I edited from one of our wedding photos. So the photo is actually me looking out of a window prior to the actual wedding. I had just finished getting dressed. So I edited the photo to mirror my profile, so it's just me looking at me. A lot of people think it's me and my husband, but no, it's just me. Now, on to what is now probably a prized possession. This portrait was the first piece that I ever purchased from Lauren Pierce, and Lauren is probably one of my favorite artists that covers portraiture. I love her interpretation of the human form. You see a person, but she does these features with hair and with whatever they're wearing. Like, it's abstract but realistic at the same time, and her use of color just blows me away. So before we leave this corner, I just got a new piece in the mail, and this piece has a story. I had the opportunity to go to Copenhagen last year with IKEA, and while there, IKEA took us on tours of 3 of their employees' homes, and the wife of one of the employees was an artist. And we kept seeing this art in all of the homes that we visited. The artist's name is Mare Hilstra, and she walked us through her process. I mean, she created her own colors. She worked with pigments, like just incredible pieces. And she also included poetry like in the background of a lot of her art. She was working on a new show. So I just told her, like, the next time you have art available, let me know. And she did. She messaged me. So it took a while to get it, but I finally have it in hand, and I am getting it hung today. I'm gonna hang it in my office, but I'm opening it for the first time because I've never seen it in person. I purchased it via photos. So we're gonna reveal this together. Let's see, she said, "Dear Carmeon, it took a bit of time, but here we go. So happy it will find a home with you. It was great meeting you a year ago. With love, from Eisholt, Mare." All the way from freaking Sweden. And here it is. It's actually upside down. I knew I wanted a piece to commemorate my trip to Copenhagen and just Mare's art. You can see, you can't read it, but the poetry is in here. This is a mixed media piece. It's canvas and paper. Just stunning. Now we're in the living room in front of my gallery wall. And I love a gallery wall, but you have to be very intentional about your gallery walls. What I have chosen to do here is hang all of my pieces that I want to feature in a simple black frame. That is the thing that ties all of these pieces together. They all have different subjects, but the frames are what speak to each other, allowing them to be cohesive, along with the arrangement that they just so happen to fall in. The way I color blocked this entire room, you know, my office is white, the lounge area, living room is black. where I decided to stop this line, I knew I wanted to have a featured piece of artwork. And the piece that won this spot is a piece by my good friend, Ronnie Williams, who lives in New York. Ronnie, I met through one of my good friends, Alvin. His practice is abstract art on raw canvas. So Ronnie loves to create on canvas and put grommets into his pieces, so they aren't necessarily intended to be wrapped. You can stretch and wrap them around a frame. And I just love the rawness of the canvas amongst all of these very structured elements in the space. So the rest of this is just a collage of things, my favorite being one of the last notes that I got from my mother. It's handwritten. She wrote it to me on Mother's Day. And along with it is one of my pieces I created in college, one of my art classes, a trio of pieces from a friend of mine, Monica Lewis. She's based in California. Of course, I had to feature a piece of Kuba cloth, and I left it exposed so you could appreciate the texture. This batik was gifted to me by a friend. It's literally a piece of cloth that was dyed to create this artwork. And then lastly, it's a blueprint, one of the original blueprints of our home. Moving to the fireplace, the star here, another piece by Frances Berry Moreno. The girl creates like there's no tomorrow. And so stumbling upon her while she's working, always a fun time. You never know what you're gonna leave with. But she created this specifically for me. But again, another piece by Monica. And this piece is also by Frances, but I commissioned Frances because she's one of my favorite artists. I asked her to create something for Kamala Harris, who I had the honor and pleasure of interviewing for her book tour stop here in Memphis. And one of my favorite quotes of Kamala Harris is she was doing an interview leading up to the book tour. She told the interviewer, "I'm not aspiring to be humble." So it was about this very straightforward quote on a very feminine backdrop. And of course, Frances made one for me and one for Kamala's entire team. So it's featured up here on the fireplace, front and center, because just like Kamala, I'm not aspiring to be humble either. There's more art on the wet bar, and this is more just to show unique ways to hang your art. When you're in a pinch and you need a hole to fill until you find those perfect pieces, paint your own. The piece that gets asked about the most, the piece that I thought I was gonna have to go to war over when I saw it, the piece that is the most expensive acquisition to date for me. This incredible piece by another Memphis artist, a Black woman named Brittany Boyd Bullock. I've been a fan of Brittany's for years. I've acquired several pieces of hers. I arrived to the opening night of the gallery probably 30 minutes after the opening. I walked in. It was her featured show at She Cake Gallery, one of my favorite galleries here in the city. And there were tons of people there, but there were like 20 people gathered around this one piece. And so I did like a mini loop around the show and then saw this piece and was like, I don't care how much it is, I don't care who's interested. There were too many people looking at it, and I had to jump on the chance to acquire it. The majority of my audience is Black women. You guys all likely have a picture of yourself that depicts something like this scene. We are all the little church girls in our white dresses and our frilly socks and church shoes in some church scene somewhere. This piece is all of us. It encapsulates so many of us and the Black experience. So now we're in the kitchen slash dining room. This is the laundry room. And don't leave out your kitchen. Find small pieces and figure out where you can add personality in certain corners. This particular wall, my world famous viral hand-painted mural, another hand-painted mural by yours truly. I just was introduced to this particular artist via another designer friend, Ashley, who went to Art Basel last year and showcased this particular piece from this artist, Princeton Unana. And once she shared this particular piece, there's actually a story behind it. I believe it's him and his son, but he's like walking in the rain with his son on his shoulders with this jacket over his son. And it is the sweetest little video, but he turned that moment into this piece of art. While perusing his site, I discovered this piece, and it just felt so majestic. The cowrie shells almost feel intergalactic, like it feels very space age. Here, this is a custom piece by Frances again, but she did an abstract of my home. She came up with this particular piece for me and our family, and its companion piece behind this hanging plant is the second original piece of art that I ever purchased, and this is by Mr. Michelle. I loved the colors, but I also loved the tactile features in it. The kitchen features all types of little things. I've purchased art from Etsy, and here's another piece from Monica. I have this mirror hanging in my kitchen. Most sinks are placed under a window. And because my kitchen didn't feature a window, I had the bright idea to utilize a mirror. I love the design of my kitchen, and this mirror reflects a beautiful design, i.e. artwork. So you guys didn't see this room on the tour, but this is a pretty special room. So this room used to be my husband's office and shoe closet. Now it is my son's game room. My husband was a gamer too, so he kind of just acquired all of my husband's things. And I took some time, about a year after my husband passed away, when we felt good about coming into this room, to really make some intentional changes to make it a great room for my son to want to be in. So I changed the layout a little bit. A few of the things that we left in here were these art pieces by Tunky Berry that my husband picked out himself, and there's a couple new pieces. My son is a huge anime fan, and we picked up one of these anime pieces from Alley Days. There's one in here, and he has one in his bedroom. The most special part, though, so my husband worked for Nike, and they had a shoe competition for something I don't remember, and he had Francis customize these for him for the shoe competition, and he never wore them or anything, so they kind of just sat as a piece of art. But when I wanted to make this room specific to Davin, I had Francis come in and mural the ceiling in a very similar motif as the shoes. So because of Davin and his love of anime, his favorite anime is One Piece. So Francis came in and put in a ton of One Piece like imagery, and the rest of the ceiling is kind of just reminiscent of what she painted on Marcus's shoes. I love how everything in here now is such a meshing of my husband and my son, from the shoes to the video games to the art to the music. It's all here, and it commemorates them both. So we're in my son's room. I wanted to show you guys this particular piece It is my little guy on our first family vacation down to Orange Beach. We are actually in our hotel room and he's sitting on the side of the bed like waiting on us to finish getting ready to go to the beach, and he was just patiently waiting, and I snapped this photo of him and I love this photo of him. Well, my good friend Frances decided to have this piece commissioned by a good friend of hers, Adrian. Adrian's portraiture is next level. It is realistic, but she captures just the essence of the human, and she captured my little baby. And I mean, I boohoo cried when I opened this piece. But his room is filled with very sentimental pieces. There's a neon light in my mother's handwriting from the note that's hanging above our gallery wall in the living room. And one of the last lines of her note is, "I'm here for you in Davin," and I just had the "here for you" customized in her handwriting, and that's what hangs above his bed. And the rest of the pieces hanging in his room are art that he drew for his dad and pictures of us together. So lots of very special pieces in here. Art is just that layer in your home that does so much heavy lifting without you having to do too much. It tells your story of who you are, who you aspire to be, who your family is, what you want your space to say about you. And as you can see, I am a huge advocate of supporting individual artists. I want my art directly from the source, whether I discover them via Instagram or an art gallery here in Memphis or while I'm traveling. You want to be able to have a connection to the person that created the thing that you fell in love with. And you want these people to be able to sustain a life from the beautiful pieces that they create. So supporting artists directly is incredibly important. Develop budgets and save to acquire original art. Put things on layaway, break it down into payments if you have to. Several of the galleries here in Memphis utilize a tool called Art Money that breaks down the cost of the art into 10 payments that are interest-free. Buy from local artists. My art in my home says so much about who I am and the story that I want this home to tell about me and all the people that not only live here, but dwell here and visit here and have a good time. But we are a pro-Black house. We are proud of our culture. We are proud of who we are. I am a fan and just connoisseur of the Black experience. We are a beautiful people, and there's so much depth and richness to who we are, how we look, and the things that we create, which is why I support so many Black artists as well. Art is that tool, is that layer that you need to bring your space to life, along with plants, but that's for another day.